the Talking Leeds Podcast with Arron Marshall and George Brooke.
Hello and welcome along to Talking Leeds with me, Arron, and Mr. Bearded Peacock, George Brooke. Good evening, George. First of all, we haven't done this for a couple of weeks. We need to apologise for the fans. I know you did it last week on your own as a solo kind of thing. So we're back. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Arron. Good morning, good afternoon, good late morning, whenever the time is you're watching it. Everybody, hello. Well, it's Talking Leeds. Good evening, Arron. Of course, I was on my toe last week. Like I said, no, I'm always used to doing that, mate. Don't worry about it. Always used to doing that, as I do on the Bearded Peacock all the time. It's no bother to me. We had a good discussion. You were in the comments as well, of course. And the thing is, I have to ask you is, how are you, Arron? Because you've been off. Like you said, we haven't reconvened for a couple of weeks now. How are you doing? You were in hospital. How are you?
I'm a lot better than what I was, thank you. I know I said it in the comments, but I had a quinsy. So I had to be in hospital for a couple of days.
A quinsy promise?
Not a quinsy promise, an actual quinsy. If you Google it, quinsy, it's basically an abscess on your tonsils things. So yeah,
wow.
So it was very painful.
How did you start with this? How did you know?
Well, I thought it was a bit of well, if we're going into this, we'll go into it. It's a bit of man flu.
Only briefly.
I thought it was a bit of man flu. I thought, do you know what? I can sort this out. But do you know what? I was at work. I thought, I don't feel great here. So I went to the walk-in centre after work, and they said, I'm afraid, Mr. Marshall, you need to get yourself down to A&E right now. I went, why? Because you've got a quinsy, and that needs to be looked after. So basically, if I didn't go, my throat would have expanded, and it would have stopped me breathing.
Oh, wow. So it was a good job that you...
It's a good job I went.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they looked after your LGI, did they?
Oh, I can tell you a few tales about that. My God. The LGI on a Thursday evening. My God. 2 weeks today, actually. Is it 2? Yeah, 2 weeks today.
Yes.
I can tell you a few tales, George, that place. Medical jail is what you call it. And listen, I'm not slating the NHS. The NHS do a fantastic job, but they're so overstretched. They need a lot of work. They need a lot of support. And do you know what? This government needs to get itself sorted, because the NHS does a fantastic job, but it's so stretched and it's just understaffed. It just needs sorting, and I hope whoever is in charge gets it sorted. So there you go. That's my rant out of the way.
Absolutely.
Rant of the week. I'm all good. But yeah, listen, Keir Starmer, if you're watching, sort the NHS out, because do you know what? Those people in there, those doctors, those nurses, the porters, everything in there do a fabulous job. We don't appreciate them. We should be paying them properly. We should be giving them what they want, and we should just do it. We shouldn't argue. We just give them it. Let's save lives. There you go.
Do it. That's it. Well done, Arron.
You've sorted it. If I was in charge, I'd sort it right now.
Rant it. Yes, go on, do it.
Anyway, but the LGI, if you've ever been, is just horrendous in the A&E. Anyway, we're back, and we're ready, and we're in for the run-in. I know it's an international break, but we will be back next week, and we're going to be back now for a proper run-in. Now I'm back fighting fit.
And you're fighting fit away from the injury table and LGI, and thank goodness for that. And you've got some positive news. So down from there to positive news. Now, I know that, some people who were listening on the match reaction on Monday, was it that you did, Arron, with Jerry? I hope Jerry's well. And 0-0, we'll discuss it with me here tonight. But, for those who didn't watch and didn't understand or didn't compute it, Arron has some news, don't you, since we last talked?
Yes, I've got myself engaged, George.
So congratulations to Arron. Arron is now engaged to his to his fiancée. And that's lovely. We're all waiting for a nice party and then a nice wedding. So you enjoy that and have a
I
lot
might
of
send
fun.
you an invite, George, when we get round to it. I might
Yeah,
send
why
you an
not?
invite.
And if you
Or
don't,
I might
you
not. Or I might not.
don't.
I
If you
might
don't,
not.
you don't. You know what I mean? There you go. But good morning and good evening, good afternoon and good night to Clive. How are you, Clive? And yes, let's go now. What are you wanting to conversate about this evening?
Well, let's get straight into it then, George, because I know you've been a bit vocal about this, and I'm not going to go on the far out. That's from completely free from this, but I'm going to be honest with you, George. The more I think about this, the more I'm a little bit concerned. I'm just concerned that Leeds are sleepwalking into a real relegation battle at the moment. I just find that when was the last game we won? Was it Forest at home?
Yeah,
It was February time, and we have
5 games ago, Aaron. Basically,
I don't really look at the stats, but I've looked at the form table, and the form table shows us in 18th position.
yeah, they're not doing well, mate. They're not doing well.
Let me tell you this for free. If people keep telling me Tottenham Hotspur will be relegated, they are dreaming in a fantasy land. Tottenham Hotspur will not get relegated this season.
No.
I can tell you that for free. It's not happening.
No, I think we've got to be realistic, Aaron. It won't happen.
The draws. Listen, the draws are good away from home. They're fine away from home. And let's not get started with the VAR controversy and all that sort of stuff, and the referees who have been absolutely shocking. So I think we start with refereeing in the Premier League. This guy on Sunday was an absolute joke of a referee. One of the worst, Jerry said on Match Reaction, and I'd completely agree with him. You know, the refereeing decisions have been poor. You can't blame Fark for that. You can't even, to an extent, blame the players for that.
No, I don't think you can. He was really poor, and obviously forgot that it's booked Gigi, didn't he? And then he had to send him off because he thought he was giving him a first yellow. It was actually giving him a second yellow. He'd forgotten about it. It wasn't just that. The whole thing was farcical. You can't blame him for that. But I would say, Aaron, draws away from home are only so good for so long. We now need to start winning a game of football away from home. We need to start winning a game of football.
But that's going to be really difficult this season to happen because you
want to win more than one game away from home.
I know you want to win one more than game, but listen, it's going to be difficult. You know, it's going to be really difficult to do that.
I disagree.
Because
I don't think
it's the Premier League. It's the Premier League. It's a real step up. We can't win every game.
You can win more than one away from home.
But I think the draws which they've got have been fair. Listen, they were close at Newcastle. They were 3-0 up or whatever it was, and that was a freak result. They could have got one there. You know, they've been unlucky at, Brentford away. I thought we did okay. There's other away games to come. You know, let's not draw on that. We're not going to win another game away this season. We might win more. You never know. But it's like what Clive says there. We've got Wolves and Burnley at home. But do you know what, Clive? I look at those and I look at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I don't think they're going to turn. You know, I think they'll turn up and give us a game. Burnley as well. You know,
they both will.
It's and we have won games away at seasons. We won Birmingham in the cup, but
not away. You know, you take going out the cup and winning a couple more Premier League matches. It would see us home. 2 wins would see us home, probably. I would say.
No, listen. It needs to be more than that. Leeds need 12 points to guarantee.
Well, in that regard, then, Aaron, I think we're going to get relegated then, because I don't see where these 12 points come from. To be quite honest with you, mate.
Okay. Okay. Let's go through this. Let's break this down. A bit of therapy. Leeds have got favourable. You know, you look at and this is what bugs me because the pundits have kind of said, "Oh, Leeds will be fine because they've got a favourable run." And we've got Brentford on Saturday night under the lights. Then we have an international break. Then it comes to the FA Cup away at West Ham, Manchester United away, Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Burnley at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, West Ham away. I'm looking at that final game of the season, and that could be the one as a shootout for who stays up.
Yeah, I mean, good evening to Jimbo in the comments there. He says we're saving all our away wins for Wembley, George. Let's wait and see. West Ham will be safe, he says. Spurs and Forest are the ones in trouble with us. I don't know how that logic works because West Ham are down there as well.
But what Jimbo's saying there, George, is West Ham, they have momentum at the moment. They've got real momentum. They have their form. They're 13th in the form table. Leeds are 18th. Of the last 5 games, include 3 draws and 2 defeats.
Okay, well, fine. I know.
And do you know what? But then I look at the form. I'm looking at the form table right now. Aston Villa are in 17th.
Yeah,
they haven't won a game in 4. You look at Sunderland. They beat us, but they're down there. Burnley 15th, a win, 2 draws and 2 defeats.
Who's
Chelsea down there.
About?
Well, it's Spurs. Spurs are
right.
bottom.
Oh yeah. True,
then
yeah.
Forest, but Forest have exactly the same form as us.
Yeah, look, we've been poor over the last 5 games, and I believe that these draws, sod it. A draw is not good enough anymore, Aaron. We need to start winning games of football. I'm not having it. And I think if we don't win on Saturday, he's gone. Absolutely not. There's nothing more to it. You've got to start to be a bit more cutthroat. And no wins in 6. Where does it end? I think we have to win on Saturday. If they don't, they're in absolute a mess. And if we don't win on Saturday,
they're not really, because Villa could go and beat West Ham, and it's
of course. But at what point is you're hovering above it? We've seen it so many times, Aaron. You're hovering above the relegation zone until the last 1 or 2 games, then you drop into it and you can't get out of it, and that's what we want to avoid. And by
but listen, Clive's made a fantastic point there. Now, it was the point I was going to make. Stability is key to staying up. You look at how the other managers have been, and I think Spurs will turn a corner. I look at Forest, and I think they're currently in Europa League action as we're recording this. I think it's 2-2 for them. So I think it's going to go to extra time against FC Midtjylland for them. So Europe could be a real killer for them because, they could go down and win the Europa League, and they could be playing in the Champions League whilst in the Championship.
Some of them might take that, as well. But I think...
What? Being relegated and then playing in the Champions League, they couldn't cope with that, man. They wouldn't cope.
No. But look, for me, it's, a lot of people... I get the happiness of drawing away from home and taking.
But given the result on Sunday, George, they played Palace with the majority of the second half with 10 men.
Yeah,
that point there is a fantastic point given the circumstances. Leeds were on top. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should have buried that penalty.
If he scores that penalty, we win the game. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
But they are. Stepped in when they scored and blah blah blah. So
no, but that was offside. It was
offside. I know it was offside, but they stepped in at the right time.
And Clive says it right. Sorry, and Clive says it's right. Nemecha, why the FNL did Lucas Nemecha not take the penalty when we got that? He was on the pitch. He scored more than Calvert-Lewin in terms of penalties this season. Why did he not give it Lucas Nemecha? I don't understand it. And DCL is trying to be all cute with a penalty. Just smash it down the middle and have done with it, and it goes in the back of the net, and that's it. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to go in the net at this stage. It doesn't.
But it didn't. It doesn't matter. We can't. I think we can't dwell on this because we're going to need Dominic Calvert-Lewin to start scoring goals. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is, when you look at him, and I'm going to compare him a little bit to Bamford. Bamford is banging confidence at the moment. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a very similar type of striker where he needs to be confident. He needs to be scoring goals, to be scoring them left, right and centre. He's on a bit of a goal drought now, George. And when he doesn't score goals and when he doesn't play well, and it's exactly the same with Patrick Bamford. When Bamford played well, Leeds won the game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin needs to play well for Leeds to win games, and that is the issue. We've got an issue with that number 9 jersey. Is when your number 9 is not playing well, Leeds don't play well, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is in this little bit of a goal drought now. He needs to score a goal and quick.
Yeah,
That's what needs to happen.
It definitely does, and Farker needs to take heed from
But
his
the problem is that the issue here is, though, George, you can't blame Farker for that because, and I'm going to defend him here. You can't blame Farker for that.
I was actually going to give Farker some props,
okay.
you've cut me straight into the comments. No, I'm only kidding, but we will get to these comments in a minute. But look, yeah, he's got to take heed of his starting 11 that he put out. I was a big fan of it. Putting 2 up front, the Metro DCL. It was a nice looking lineup. He needs to do that again on Saturday. None of this leaving him up isolated by himself. He plays well with Nemecha alongside him, and it's a handful for defenders. And at home, it's win or bust. I believe it is. It's win or bust. And and I believe, call me out again if you want to, Aaron, and anybody in the comments. But I believe he should be given his marching orders if we don't win the game. Now let's have a look.
Let's cross that bridge when it comes to it, because we're not that channel, George, where we're saying Fark out, which you really want him to go because you don't like him. But ultimately,
not that I don't like him, Aaron. Not that I don't like him. I like him as a man. I just believe that these things.
I'm not facilitating this. There we go. I'm just going to mute him for you because Fark is not the issue here, guys. Farker is absolutely. We keep him to the end of the season anyway. Right, have you calmed down, George?
I wasn't even not calm, but I was just trying to make a point. But good evening to Richard, who says DCL will score twice Saturday to get us back on target.
Excellent. Yes, positivity. Yes, Richard, that will happen.
Jimbo, whatever happened, Fark deserved at least a season. We'll give him nearly that, haven't we? But and Muti, yes.
You just can't help yourself. You just want to get those little digs in about Anna Daniel, and you just don't want him to do well. Do you know what?
I want him to do well. I support Leeds United, mate, so I want the manager to do well. What I'm saying is, if it continues to go badly, what do we do? You said yourself, we're sleepwalking to relegation. If
things don't change, we've got to win a game. If we win a game of football on Saturday night under the lights, it solves everything. It's massive. But it's like Fark does not need sacking. He's not the issue. The issue here is this: over the last couple of games, VAR has been shockingly bad. You look back to the Sunderland game where we should have had a clear penalty,
which he might have missed,
which he could have missed, but it would have changed the game. You then look at the officials on Sunday, and that's just a bigger joke. The issue here is the officials in this league, in my opinion, are worse than the officials in the Championship. And there were some shocking referees at Ellen Road last season in the Championship. They're absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
And this issue is that the issue here is referees are too reliant on VAR. They're not they can't even count how many yellow cards they're giving. On a yellow card, they're supposed to put the name on the back of it when they give somebody a yellow card and the time.
Yeah, well, that's what they used to do.
That there is a sackable. It's sackable. That referee should be sacked for what he did.
It should. And good evening.
Let's call him out because
it was. Well, good evening to Michael. While you do that, good to see. He says it's good to see yourself, Aaron, back and looking healthy. I agree. Jared Gillett, Clive says, started well when we moved from Aussie land, but even he's gone crap now. We need Pajuli Kalina.
Thomas Bramall. Let's talk about Thomas Bramall. Thomas Bramall. He was in the Championship last season. It was shocking, but Thomas Bramall just can't count why this man is an official referee, a Premier League referee at the elite league in Europe. He's one of those referees who should be bang on it, but he can't count how many waiting seconds to then realize. The problem is he's issued the yellow card. He can't take it back. He went out to give it and went, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that." Oh,
exactly. And the problem is
that issue.
Goody gets a second yellow. We can't rescind it. We can't appeal it because it's a double yellow. So he's out for the game. I know he'll just play Justin and Bogle on the wings, but Goodmanson I've said it to you before, and he's my best player of the season. He's
Yes,
really, really good.
But the issue here is Leeds were on top. Leeds were complete. I think if Leeds had finished that, if Leeds didn't have a man sent off, George, I genuinely believe Leeds would have won that game.
Yeah, I know, of
because
course.
They were in complete dominant control.
I think we
you
would have.
Can't say, "Ooh, that's Farke's fault. We didn't sack him because we didn't win." But Leeds were in complete control. All I'm saying is, and I'm going to go into the comments here. The issue here is the standard of officiating in this league, and in fact, the Premier League is just completely corrupt to the core. They're favouring. You then saw it on Saturday night when you had the referee being surrounded by Chelsea players having a huddle around him. What's that about?
Yeah, it was very
strange. And if we want to go, I'm ranting now, and I know I shouldn't be, but I want to just mention a player from Crystal Palace, JD Camfort. I don't know if you saw this, George.
Oh, yeah.
How he reacted to Goodmanson being sent off. That for me is punishable by the FA. You have got kids, you've got boys and girls watching this all around the world. That complete numpty decides to do a little dance and a celebration for a player being sent off. What does that show to kids, especially in this generation when they're learning and loving football and playing it? What does that show? It's just embarrassing.
Well, it does. I mean, Clive says
they're role models. They're role models.
Yeah, I mean, Clive says Cammett's a bloody disgrace. That's a red card offence.
It is. He should have. What the FA should do is the Premier League. They say, "Look, you've done this. It's been caught. It's been clipped. It's beaming around the world. You've done that. You should have a 3-match ban for doing that." And do you know what? It would stamp all this nonsense out.
Yeah, it would. I mean, Richardson Goodmanson should have his. It can't because it was a 2 yellow cards. I think Clive says think Cammett's only about. He's a 19. I think is Camvert. I mean, it was. He'll look back on that and he'll think it was adrenaline, wasn't it?
It wasn't adrenaline because he shouldn't have done that. It was an embarrassment. You're right, Carl. He was an embarrassment.
Yeah. Good evening to Carl. He says,
but George, the point here is that he's got away with that now. It doesn't impact his season. It impacts Leeds United's season. Gabby Goodmanson, one of our best players this season, is going to have to set out some matches while he got away with that. What he did, in my opinion, is more criminal.
I think it's only the Brentford game he'll miss, wasn't it? Because it was just a double yellow. But I agree with you, Aaron. It was unsportsmanlike, and I think unsportsmanlike behaviour should be, punished in some kind of way. Whether he gets a fine, like you said, it doesn't.
But the point here is, football coaches up and down the land, grassroots footballers, Sunday League, all that sort of stuff, schools, we always teach kids sportsmanlike behaviour. And it's instilled from a young age to grassroots football to semi-pro. Are you all about that? You look at rugby as an example. You don't see it in that. You don't see it in the Six Nations. You don't see it in rugby. You just accept it and just get on with it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that numpty should not have done that. He should be punished.
No, I agree.
Unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not doing that. We're the Premier League. We're scared. We might get sued by Man City.
Well, Clive says if you're old enough to play senior Premier League matches, then conduct yourself properly. Colin says it was as bad as when Ronaldo went when Rooney got sent off. Richard, the ref, should have come to the speakers and explained he had made a mistake. But they don't, do they? Unless it's a little, little screen VAR decision. They don't explain it. Although he made a mistake, it's cost us probably 3 points or 2 points because we got a draw. But
VAR did the same. But VAR did the same. You look at the Sunderland game. But the reason why we're getting twitchy like this, George, is because the form has been dreadful for Leeds. They haven't been scoring goals. We haven't struggled in games. I think we've competed. We've just been unfortunate due to officials and officiating poorly. I think that is the underwhelming issue here.
To a point, yeah. I think we've not to say we'd win those games if we got the decisions, but ultimately, it would have helped.
It would have helped if we'd had 10. If we'd have had 11 men on the pitch.
There has been questionable decisions throughout the last few. Obviously, the Sunderland game was largely disappointing out the few of them. Obviously, you'd probably expect to lose to Man City. It was disappointing the way it came about. Again with the fart red card, the Goodmanson red card on Sunday was,
Guardiola does it. Arteta does it. They all do it.
Of course,
all these top six.
Yeah, it is biased, but and we know this, but we've got to make sure that our kind of quality on the pitch outweighs the problems that VAR, the officiating, everything has. That we just go and win the game outright. And I do accept. I think that Leeds would have won the game, and we were doing very well. All right, DCL misses the pen. It happens, but we would have gone on, I think, to win that game. And I think that's his reaction. The young lad's reaction is like, get in, because we were doing poor in this game.
But ultimately, young, old, doesn't matter. It shouldn't have happened. Anyway, I want to jump.
It with the other defender as well. I think that gave it a bit of the big one. LaRouche, is he? He gave it a bit of a big one as well.
There's tons of comments coming in. I just want to fire through some comments before I do some top or flop. Thomas Bramall Lane, Blunt's fan. Don't sack the ref, just give him the weekend off. That's what they've done. Yeah, that's right. The Premier League just give him the weekend off. What a lovely time. He's going to go and enjoy a nice little, nice extended weekend in the Canary Islands. Go and enjoy yourself, Mr. Bramall. Let's have a look. But he lost it, didn't he, in that game? He was booking left, right, and centre. He was just dishing out yellow cards for fun. Class to say we didn't mention that's Gabby Gunnarsson go to the fans after the game. Fair play to him.
It was, yeah.
Let's have a look and see. There's got to be more ref cock-ups, but you've just got to hope we're not on the end of them. It's several consecutive weeks, the reffing and that kind of what we talked about him, and the decisions could cost us dearly. Can't wait for the reception at Ellen Road, says Jimbo. Is an embarrassment. If you're old enough to play Premier League matches, you should conduct yourself properly. And let's have a look here. George, as you cover Brazilian football, says Michael, Thiago's been called up to the Brazilian squad for the upcoming internationals, and he has 19 goals this season. Yeah, he's going to be a concern, isn't he, this weekend?
Yeah, it's going to be a big concern over the weekend, Michael, is Thiago. Fabulous, fantastic for him getting into the Brazilian squad. It's not easy with a sort of plethora of forward talent they've got in there. You'll look at it. We know only too well, obviously, one of the boys, Rafinha, who had a field day yesterday against Newcastle. He's in there. To mix it with those guys. Fair play to Thiago, because he had that big injury when he first came to Brentford. I was always a big fan of him. Played for Cruzeiro. He's a big man. He's going to cause us a lot of issues. Particularly, as we know, if we end up giving away a penalty, as we nearly did in the away fixture, didn't we? But it was rescinded. But yeah, I'm really happy for him. It'd be interesting to see how Brazil get on in not just these friendly games they've got coming up, but the World Cup itself, and who he can pick. It's a big ask for Carlo Ancelotti to pick those players from that, like I said, the array of talent that he's got. So that's a real credit to Thiago for getting that. But 19 goals is unbelievable, and it's in the Premier League. He's going to have, Ancelotti's eyes on him. So fair play to him. I hope he has a good few games, but I hope he doesn't have a good game on Saturday, because that would probably see us lose the game.
Right, it's time for this. Top or flop. Right, George, it's your favourite feature. It's top or flop. I have picked as 5 former Leeds United players, and I've gone for which did you do last year? Was it last week? Sorry,
we did League One.
Second stint in League One. Right. Well, I've actually gone for the first stint of the Championships, the 2010-2011 Leeds United season.
Excellent.
Which saw Leeds compete in the Championship following promotion the previous season. Chairman was Ken Bates. Manager was Simon Grayson. We finished 7th in the league, and we just narrowly missed out on the playoffs. But I think it was the back end of the season where we just struggled. FA Cup 3rd round, and we got to the 2nd round of the League Cup, and we got knocked out by Arsenal in the FA Cup, that one. But yes. So I've got Leeds finished 7th on 72 points, 3 points behind Nottingham Forest, won 19, drew 15, lost 12 this season. Right, George, are you ready for some top or flop players?
Absolutely, Aaron. And Michael's very kind. He says Arron and George both top. That's very kind.
Oh, thank you, Michael. We're top.
And Jimbo has already reminded us, of course, Mr. Joel Perreault will play alongside J. Roy Grott in the Suriname squad in the upcoming international break. So he has been named for the first time. Fair play to Joel Perreault, because all the hype has been round Anton Stack, of course, being in the German squad. But well played to Perreault as well, being in the Suriname squad. That's very good for him personally. So congratulations to him.
Right, okay, let's get into this then. Right, the first player on top or flop this week is Kasper Schmeichel, who was given the number 1 shirt for the 2010-11 season, and who was the first choice goalkeeper ahead of Shane Higgs. Made his debut against Derby and they lost 2-1, but he put some impressive saves in that one. So Kasper Schmeichel, George, 37 appearances before he moved to Leicester City after staying with us for a season. So Kasper Schmeichel, and I do believe Kasper Schmeichel is still playing up at Jerry's beloved Celtic, and he's made 58 appearances for them over the last couple of years. So Kasper Schmeichel, George, top or flop?
He surely is still playing for Celtic, Aaron.
I've got Denmark as well. He's off to the World Cup.
Of course he is. I mean, Clive says flop, 69 goals conceded, absolute poops. Jimbo says top, wish we didn't sell him. For me, I'm going to say no, flop. I think.
Why? I thought it was all right.
Because he didn't stay long enough for me. I think he was good, and I like it. I think Jimbo says we wish we didn't sell him. But I think exactly that. I think if he could have been a potential to be a top player for Leeds, but I think for some reason it didn't go as we thought it might. I don't know why. And off he went for Leicester for £1 million, I think it was at the time. And obviously we know what happened there. He won the Premier League title and all the rest of it. But I think, he could have had a great career at Leeds. One of them that I think the fans probably didn't like initially because of his dad's connections with Man United. But he soon sort of turned around. He was okay, but I think ultimately he won't be remembered in any way as a Leeds United player in that one season.
Yeah.
There. So that's why
I think the only problem is that we got a bit of money for him because I think we signed him on a free, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think he was from Notts County, wasn't he? Or he got there, hadn't he? I mean, with the experiment with Sven going out, and of course, but I just didn't. I think if he could have had the potential to be a top player, but because he
seems looking at his history though, George, he moved from. He was at Falkirk, then Cardiff, then went to Coventry in the season, then went to Notts County, and then from there spent a season there, then up to Leeds, and then buggered off to Leicester. But we made a bit of money on him, I suppose. And I promise, I think you're right. I'd like to have seen him a bit longer at Leeds, but
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. If we saw him a bit longer, I think there'd be potential for him to be a top player. But unfortunately, we just didn't see enough of him. I mean, he did all right in the season he was there. But ultimately, he won't be remembered. I mean, obviously, it was Shane Higgs. I think we actually bought in a sort of lone player, a lone goalkeeper then. I think it was Brown, but I can't remember his first name. But that I think he ended up seeing the season out or seeing some of the games out in Schmeichel's kind of absence.
Okay, right. The next player. So you're going flop. I'm going to go flop as well. Maybe why not? Both flops. The next one, because we didn't see enough of him. That's the next player I've got for us is this one. Can you remember Jake Livermore, George?
Yes, of course, Jake Livermore.
Let me tell you a little bit about Jake Livermore. He was at Ipswich, and then he came to us on the 24th of March as we were battling for promotion to Premier League. He made his debut for Leeds as a second-half sub against Forest, where he had a hand in Leeds' fourth goal scored by Max Gradle. 5 appearances, George.
Well, that says it all, Aaron. You go straight.
Jake Livermore.
straight to flop, mate. We didn't see enough of him. He came in on loan. Obviously, went on to play in the. I think he got an England cap. Did he, Jake Livermore?
No idea, probably.
I think he might have done. But he was playing he was playing for Tottenham at the time, was he? On loan, it wasn't really, it wasn't really good, was he? Only 5 appearances. It was a flop. Absolutely all day long.
Looking at his career, MK Dons loan, Crewe loan, Derby loan, Peterborough loan, Ipswich loan, Leeds loan, Hull loan, joined Hull. Made 90 appearances for them, 6 goals, and then he moved from Hull to West Bromwich Albion for a good 6 or 7 years, 206 appearances, 8 goals, and then Watford, 3 goals. So I don't know if he's still playing. I don't
don't know, mate. He can't be. He can't be.
Beyond the end of his
career.
He's 36.
Yeah. So he's not that old, is he really? But I think it was a non-effective loan in that season. The same with Barry Bannon. I don't know if you.
Oh God, yeah. Right, okay. No, I don't use ChatGPT. What is that? We don't use AI. Right, okay, George, I've got another one for you. We don't need ChatGPT. This is our knowledge. Right, Alex Bruce. George, remember him? Alex Bruce.
Yeah, of course.
He joined us. I think he joined us in July 2010. Centre back for us. What do you think to him?
I think
a couple of years with us.
A few years.
29 appearances and 1 goal.
Yeah, I think again it's another flop, and I think he was a steady bit like his dad. His dad was obviously a great player, but of course, Steve Bruce's son, Michael. I just don't think. He's assistant at Salford now, I think, but I just don't think he just was a stodgy player. We didn't really see very good of him. He like Clive says, error prone, definitely, along with Neil Collins as well at the back, and there was a few like that who just lots of errors in them. Darren O'Day. I know that wasn't in that season, but Darren O'Day. But it was just he just falls into that category of player who he got the ball and he would just like, oh no, what's he going to do? It was just one of them. He just wasn't very good, really. Collins was even worse. Clive wasn't.
A lot of flops here. Flop was supposed to be the team at the time. Flops as Richard. So I think we're both agreeing a bit of a flop for Alex Bruce.
It was definitely a flop. Carl said he doesn't even remember him playing for us.
He did for 2 years. Right. The next one I've got here is Sanchez Watt. George, joined us on loan from Arsenal. 22 appearances and 1 goal for Leeds. He was from Southend, didn't he? Was he Southend?
No. I think he came on loan from Arsenal. Did what?
Yeah.
What came up with us, and then he spent 2 years at Leeds, I think. When we went up, he was part of the promotion team. Yeah. And then he played the season in the Championship with us, but he was no good. It was just no good. He had lots of promise, but again, just not really lived up to much. I know he played the odd time for Arsenal. I think he went on to India to play in India and stuff like that. Clive says, what on earth? Of course, there's a lot of play on words with that second name, isn't there? But I think, he just wasn't that good, was he? A lot of promise, but very little on the pitch to show otherwise.
He apparently got booked for saying what when
he probably did, didn't he? It was one of them, wasn't it? Sanchez, but there you go.
What? Let me give you his career. Obviously, Arsenal. Then he moved to Colchester United in 2013. I went to Kerala Blasters, wherever the hell in the world that is.
India.
I have no idea. He went to India for a year. Then went to Crawley Town, Billericay Town, Hemel Hempstead Town on loan. Then joined Hemel Hempstead and then joined Wilston. You want some? Wilston. Maybe the son of Wilston. You want some? Don't you? Are you having a beef? Having a beef with me?
That's where Beckford came from, of course, as well, when he played.
You what?
Exactly, you what, exactly, with Sanchez.
I'll give you some. I'll get you
Yeah,
some.
exactly. The Wheelstone Raider and all
You
that.
got no fans. You got no fans.
And he went, and he went there to play. That just shows you the trajectory of his career just went lower and lower and lower. And it was a lot of promise, but very little in the way of delivering on that promise. And I'm sure he on Instagram and stuff, he's very much pro Leeds. I see him, promoting Leeds quite a lot when old photos, putting it up and and all the rest of it. But I don't think really, because that was one of his only really professional clubs other than Arsenal and obviously Colchester. But that was, I think you were thinking about Ryan Hall, who came from Southend. I think that was maybe a couple of years later, Aaron.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I've got another one for you. I've got a final one on top of flop this week. Is David Sommer, the 5th South African to play for Leeds, following Jerry Francis, Albert Johansson, Lucas Radebe, and Phil Masinga. So there you go. What do you think to this one? I'll give you his stats: 33 appearances for Leeds over 4 or so years. He did a couple of loans to Chesterfield and Lincoln. 33 appearances, 12 goals for Leeds. What do you think to that one?
I think he was a top player. I think.
Do you?
Yeah, he was really, really a bit of an exciting player at the time. Obviously, behind the likes of Becchio, and he was a little bit down the pecking order. Obviously, Billy Painter came in that season, I think, and I think he was probably start the season behind him as well. There was one or two that he had to get in front of to be able to have any chance at Leeds. But I think I really liked him. And I'm not just saying that because he follows me on social media as well, Aaron. But no,
does
he's,
it?
yeah, he
oh,
does. Yeah.
Wow. Right, get him on the show.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really good. But yeah, he's
David Sommer. Right, well, he's a top player then.
He's a top lad, is David Sommer. And I really enjoyed him playing. He scored some nice goals, like Clive Sommer and Grella. Had a loan with Lincoln, didn't he? A South African boss called Sommer, his fox in the box. He played for Bafana, I think, as well. Carl, I thought he was top the first time I watched, then just never kicked on. Yeah, he had a lot of promise. I didn't really fulfill it maybe at some stages, but I think ultimately he had bursts of quality that you could see why we signed him. He came from America, didn't he? MLS.
Yeah, San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, because that's the one that Ronaldo Vieira is playing for at the moment, and I think Timo Werner as well. So yeah, he was. I liked him. I did. He was better than Grella, but he was somewhere in the middle, wasn't he? And he didn't probably with injuries didn't really get the rub of the green. But yeah, I liked David Sommer. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, we'll say it's a top player then. Huh? How about that?
I'll tell you who else.
I'll tell you what. Because I know the fans will want to know how his career has progressed.
Yeah,
after Leeds, he kind of fell apart, didn't he? He didn't really, since he left Leeds, he kind of unofficially retired, didn't he? He became a coach at Long Island United, and he tried to make a bit of a comeback when he and striker Robbie Finlay had a trial at MLS club New York Red Bulls, but they were unsuccessful, and they left the club on the 15th of February 2017. And that's about it. He's kind of gone into the abyss. We don't know where he's gone.
I think he might be coaching, but
he's just following the bearded peacock.
It's
just produced. So there you go.
I'll tell you who else is as well.
Go on.
Who's a regular? Well, I don't know if he follows me. He's a regular watcher of my stories and stuff. Is Ramon Nunez, who was
right. Do you want to put Ramon Nunez? Do you want to put Ramon Nunez in the?
I'm not sure if he played for us on that season. Did he? I think
but we can have him. We can discuss him this season.
When did he play for us, Aaron?
2010 to 2013, 21 appearances and 1 goal.
He did play in that season then.
Yeah, he did. He was on trial, I think, wasn't he? 2010.
I didn't realise. Right, so he He was really good. He was really, really good.
He really wasn't. He really wasn't, George.
He
was
was good, wasn't he? But he never quite fulfilled the promise. And Jimbo, no, sadly not. Tyler doesn't.
Ramon Nunes. Do you know Ramon Nunes for me, George? And I know you're asking me now. 21 appearances and 1 goal in 3 years. I know he had a loan at Scunthorpe United, but he played for Honduras.
Yeah, Honduras. Yeah,
Honduras. You played for them, but yeah, I'm just having a look at his career now. Dallas, Chivas USA, Cruz Azul, FC Dallas after us. Alajuelense, I've never even heard of these. Real Hispana, and then Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Yeah, absolute complete flop, I'm afraid. Complete flop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know he follows you on Instagram. That's great, but he's a flop. Top or flop? Oh, top or flop. We'll be back next week. Well, I like that. I like a bit of top or flop.
Yeah, top or flop is, I think, the best that we've come up with in terms of segments.
I'll be honest, I came up with it, not you.
Well, we're all one, aren't we? That's it.
Raj, I didn't even jump into the comments in there, but thank you for getting involved in top or flop. We love reading your comments, and it might spark up those former players who you thought they didn't play for us, did they? Or they did. We have not many top players this week, but we might get some more top players next week. And don't forget, if you want us to talk about a particular season, you can do. Get in the comments, give us some ideas, and we'll have a think about it. If you want us to review any any players or seasons you want us to discuss. And yeah, top of flop is a good replacement for Tanaka because he gets no game time. Yeah, that's exactly why, Carl. We can't do Tanaka time because Parker doesn't play him. Right, George, let's get straight into Chipbo's giving us one for next week. Let's get straight to it. Brentford at home, under the lights on Saturday. I'm not going to this. I have sold. I need to speak about season tickets as well, which I'll have another rant about. I'm not going to this one, George, because I'm going out. Me and Daisy, we're going to go and celebrate our engagement. So we're going to hit the town in Leeds.
But there's a question there, Aaron. Will you be checking the score, or will you be?
I will be watching it in a bar in Leeds. I will not be there in Ellen Road, but I will be in Leeds keeping an eye on things.
No, okay. I thought you were going to say, no, of course not. I will be.
I'll be watching because I'll need to do the match reaction on Sunday. So there you go.
Fair enough. Well, of course, it's work purposes.
Yes, absolutely. Brentford at home, under the lights. It's a big one. Brentford, Keith Andrews is Brentford. That's what they start calling them now.
Yeah. Brentford. Keith
Andrews is Brentford. Right. Go on then.
No, I think, fair play to Keith Andrews. He's done a great job. I know that they flashed up on the screen when they drew with Wolves on Monday, like all these people saying, oh, Brentford are going to do crap. This season, and then they use it as motivation to say, hey, no, actually, we're doing all right. But, look, I think we're going to win just simply because we have to, not because we're better than them or anything else. I think because it's at Ellen Road, because it's under the lights, we know we've flopped a little bit in the last couple at Ellen Road against City and against Sunderland. They were both under the lights, Ellen Road. We didn't do ourselves any justice in those 2 games. I think Leeds will come back with strongly at Ellen Road. I think Farker will give them the rundown, the real G up before the game, and we really need it, mate, because it could be anybody here at Ellen Road coming to Ellen Road on Saturday. It's a winnable game. They are a good team, like we know. Thiago, like Michael said earlier on, they've got some. They run as a well-oiled machine. If not, they're not quite the star-studded team as they haven't been in the past individually, like with the likes of Mbeumo and people like that. But, ultimately, they're still a good, well-oiled team. They've got some good players in there. But I do think just because it's a must-win for me for Leeds, I think under the lights, I think we get the job done. Noah's back, which is a big plus. I know you're a bit undecided on him, but I think he makes us tick a little bit more than maybe, particularly at Ellen Road. So I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with 3-0 Leeds. I think. Well, I think for some reason I'm feeling kind of confident, and I feel like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is due a goal. I think the crowd up, get behind the boys, and I think we can, I think we can startle them. I think we can keep Thiago quiet with the likes of Joe Roden and maybe hopefully Yaka. Very brave, George. It is, Jimbo, but I just think there's something in me. Collins says 3-1. That's exactly that's the scoreline exactly. But look, I just think there's something in me says Leeds are going to be on it on Saturday. And there's nothing like Leeds under the lights when we're on it. And, not 10-0. No, not this time, Jimbo, but maybe next time. But definitely next time. We're going to beat them 10, definitely. But, look, I just think it'll click. And I'll be delighted for the boys and for Fark if it does. If it doesn't, like I said, I think there's got to be questions asked here. I wish GG was available, but like I said, Justin and Bogle on the wings. Justin's been fantastic this season. I think that's a ready-made replacement there for him. So no real trepidation with that. But I'm going to go with the Leeds win. Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into the comments and see what people are saying. Carl says, take her to a sports bar. Congratulations. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. That's nice. I will do that, Carl. I might do that. She's Leeds through and through anyway. Obviously, we've got family connections with Leeds. So, yes, we will enjoy that. Right, Clive says 2-1 Leeds. Jimbo says 2-1, but not confident. Goodwin says Colin 3-1. Carl says tight game. We desperately need a win to get momentum going. I'd also like a win so I can enjoy watching Match of the Day again. Listen, I will have a word. For you. I've got intel with Match of the Day. Noah is good to have as a sub. Suppose not 10-0. And I just want to see a bit more long stuff, says Jimbo.
Look,
do you know what?
Jimbo, you won't, because Fart, we know, just likes to play pretty much the same team, doesn't he? But
I'll just do this because he's ranting again about Mr. Fark and he's just in a timeout. I'm going to go for this one. I think Leeds will win this game, and I think it's going to be a sneaky 1-0. 1-0. And it's going to be a sneaky 1-0. And I'm going to go for Nonto to score. Why not? Willie Nonto, come off the bench and do his magic. Would you agree, George?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Willie do some magic, We all like a bit of that, but look, Willie, Willie Nonto. Hopefully, Willie's had been criminally underused again by Fark.
And do you know what? I'm going to go to his favourite restaurant on Saturday, so I might see him in there after.
Oh, in Cleckheaton? Is it in Cleckheaton, man?
No, he likes the IVA, doesn't he, Willie Nonto? That's his favourite restaurant.
Does he? Yeah. Does he really? Have you ever seen him in there?
I've never seen him in there, no, but I've heard that. Ethan Ampadu, when he did the parade, said, "Oh, that's Willie Nonto's favourite restaurant."
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just one of them, isn't it? You know what I mean? But
there you go.
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
oh, no, it should be kicked off now, shouldn't it?
It should, exactly. Is it a sin kind of thing? Is it? But I hope Willie needs some more game time. He really does. And like I said, a few of the players, along with Longstaff, Jimbo, really have been criminally underused. We know Tanaka is one of them as well, Nonto as well. But, Farkas fit not to do it. So, he's off.
Here we go again. He's ranting again. We'll just, remove him there. Right, there we go. George, can I just say as well to everybody, we want to get to 500 subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your mates, tell your people down the pub, tell everybody to give us a like and a subscribe to Talking Leeds on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We do these little short bits now on TikTok, so that's growing really well. If you like us on there, give us a follow on there. Give George a follow on his Bearded Peacock /Daniel Fark Out podcast channel, because he likes saying that all the time. Yes, he likes to, can't give charity minutes. I know. Anyway, blah, blah,
no,
blah.
that's not charity minutes, Clive. Nonto can really swing the game on his day. Give him more minutes. Be more
season tickets. Thank you, Colin. I want to have a bit of a rant. Leeds United, you sneaky little devils. They put the prices up again. I'm not complaining because, listen, you've got 25,000 fans who want one of these bad boys. Just be upfront and honest, Leeds United, rather than having me log on and find out, it's gone up to £709 when I first bought my season ticket. It was £399 10 years ago. It's nearly doubled in 10-15 years, or how long I've ever had it. It's just a bit of a disgrace for me. Just be upfront and honest with your price rises. Don't allow people to log in and say, it's a bit more expensive this year. That's all I want. Bit of honesty.
And how much is it, Aaron? Sorry, this time
£709 the Robin gets. And the council tax has gone up. Premier League prices could be Championship. Being the tight Yorkshireman that I am, I feel like I want to go down to the Championship so I get more money's worth. I get an extra 3 or 4. No, I get an extra 5 games or whatever it is in the Championship.
I think you get 3 more games, won't you?
Yeah.
But no.
Being the tight Yorkshireman, I thought, do you know what? Sod it. I want you to get relegated so I can get that. But
well,
anyway,
there you go. I
want to say on the season tickets, George, is Leeds should have been a bit more honest. Yes, they said renew your season ticket now, but they should have put out on the website, look, this is the price increase because of X, Y, Z. Don't allow fans. There are fans. I know there are fans who have been lucky enough to secure a season ticket. I've been doing a season ticket holder now for a fair amount of years, and I've kind of got the old kind of style, but the new applicant prices as well. I think some fans are paying over £1,000, maybe more, and I just think it's a bit scandalous, really. Just you've just got to be a bit of honesty. But listen, it's money, it's football, it doesn't mix well, and we all know what happens. They just get greedy, and why would you? Because, as I say, you've got 25,000 fans who would snap the hand off for one of these, and the demand is there. Get that stadium built, get it all built, and then give us all cheap season tickets. That's what we want. Did you hear about the Coventry, by the way, that they said that one of these season tickets that they would, if a fan bought like 5 years ago, they get a free season ticket or something if they get promoted.
Oh, wow.
If they bought one. Anyway.
Well, they're on the way, aren't they?
Season tickets, yeah. There we go. Got to increase them as we're still probably Kevin and Costa. Oh my God, we probably are. Yeah, we're still paying him, aren't we? That's where that extra 30% or whatever it is has gone up because we've got to pay his wages. Right, George, we will leave it there. We will reconvene next week for another episode next Thursday, similar time. We'll be back. You'll be back, George. Hopefully Leeds will get a result. It's the international break as well, so we can have a bit of a break after this one as well. And then we're back into FA Cup. And I'll find out, George, as well. Oh, also, West Ham United, fantastic, giving these tickets 9,000 Leeds fans for £15, George. 15 quid. But I'm in the ballot.
How do you get in the ballot?
If you're a season ticket holder now, you've got to go in the ballot for these tickets.
Is it?
So yeah, hopefully I'll find out tomorrow if I've got myself a bag there. A £15 away day to the West Ham London Stadium. And also, we've got to watch next week, George. We might do a watch along for this. Mr. Marcelo Bielsa is back in England. We might watch him against England. Why not?
Oh, yes, they're playing England, aren't they? Yes. Oh, I don't know where he's gone, but okay, bye.
I'm back. We'll be back. Yes. Sorry, we need to wrap it up there. I don't know what happened there. My laptop had a bit of a crash. George, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and getting the comments. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, give us a like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening on the pod, give us 5 stars. We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one, everybody. Yes. Marching on together. Yes.
He kicked me out then, did George? If I can tell you that now, he kicked me out. Ta-ra!